I have been working here in the sugar mill for about 21 years. Life here is quite simple. We spend our time working at the sugar mill and with our families. We take walks through the city. This community is called President Benito Juarez Sugar Mill.
Teodoro Ruiz and his wife Marta live only a few blocks away from the sugar mill in a house that reeks of molasses during the sugarcane harvesting season. He's a fly-ash laborer, but today does welding work.
About 2 years ago, we received training in welding. We had about 20 days of training. I was very pleased with it. Then, about a year ago, we were given training in safety and health and environmental matters. The training was quite good.
Labor relations in the sugar processing industry in Mexico are being modernized based on social dialogue, and this has had a strong impact on its competitiveness and productivity. One of the key elements in this effort is the implementation of a training system promoted by the ILO known as SIMAPRO, which is now being successfully applied in other Latin American countries. Mexico has a long history of sugarcane processing, its most traditional agribusiness. The sugar mills are part of the landscape of the sugarcane growing regions. Today, Mexico ranks 6th in the world's sugarcane production and consumption. The industry accounts for 12% of the country's agricultural production and contributes 0.4% of its national GDP. There are 57 sugar mills in Mexico, which employ over 450,000 field and factory workers. With the opening of markets at the close of the 20th century, Mexico's sugar industry faced a discouraging situation brought on by the prospect of growing competition. Productivity was low, and conflicts and lack of workers' motivation were the distinguishing features of labor relations in the industry. The situation started to change when the employers and workers began to move away from disagreements toward a new era of agreements. This culminated in an agreement signed in 2007, into which the ILO project contribution has been incorporated. The ILO has been implementing the SIMAPRO project, whose abbreviation stands for Productivity Measurement and Enhancement System in Mexico, since 2008. With the financial backing of the Regular Budget Supplementary Account, RBSA, to which donor countries contribute. Its success after 2 years of implementation is known to contribute to decent work underpinned by social dialogue. Social dialogue emerged from the meetings of the Mixed National Council on Labor Modernization, which were attended by the highest level of representatives of sugarcane industry employers and workers, together with Mexico's Secretariat of Labor and Social Welfare.
Mistrust on the part of both parties was very strong. This dialogue is a result of 2 years of jointly sowing the seeds together with the ILO that today is starting to bear fruit. It has been difficult, but the social dialogue itself has created trust. To repeat what I have already said, I believe that the ILO has played a significant role in all of this because it brought the two parties to the table, to a situation where what was said was the truth, and that, I think, created a great deal of trust. With a professional and responsible work, we are finding ways to build a new labor culture that will strengthen the industry and, of course, improve the living conditions of the workers. We have found an interest among almost all of the industrialists in moving very responsibly toward a complete change in attitude on the part of both the industrial and labor sectors, and in the last resort, in advancing the common good, which is to strengthen the industry. For that reason, we would like to thank the ILO a great deal for its participation.
In the state of Tabasco, in southern Mexico, stands the Presidente Benito Juarez sugar mill, one of 14 sugar mills in 7 Mexican states where the ILO SIMAPRO productivity measurement and enhancement system has been put into effect. Lazaro Roman is a general laborer who has been working at the sugar mill for 19 years. His father also worked there.
My father was a laborer here at the sugar mill for 35 years and died about 5 years ago. I took advantage of the opportunity he gave me to get a job here. I have noted lots of improvements and have learned a great deal. In the past, we didn't have the opportunity they are giving us now to learn the guides and to get ahead and acquire more know-how through the training courses.
A number of actors have been needed to put this training into effect. Lorena Baños, head of ecology, for example, is also a training facilitator using SIMAPRO's guides. She is one of the people who feel that the labor culture is changing at the sugar mill.
I believe this training is being offered because the trade union's dialogue with the company has been highly favorable. And this has allowed us as facilitators to work better and has given the workers more opportunities.
Thanks to its good evaluation, SIMAPRO's implementation in the sugarcane industry is creating demands for its implementation in other countries and in other economic sectors. ILO consultant Leonard Mertens, who has implemented the system in the region, states that the starting point for all of this is a knowledge-oriented dialogue linked with a social dialogue.
The distinguishing feature of the training given in the sugar industry is that it breaks away from traditional methods used by companies. In the sense that the training is no longer limited to people entering a classroom and learning about a particular subject, but involves their learning together with the company itself. The company and the worker learn at the same time.
The SIMAPRO system is defined as an inclusive training tool based on agreements between the company and its workers that target knowledge management. The successful experience in Mexico's sugarcane industry has spread throughout the region, for example to the garment and tourism sectors in the Dominican Republic, the sugarcane industry in Cuba, the citrus industry in Uruguay, and the fruit exporting sector in Chile. SIMAPRO's implementation in Chile started in 2007 in the export-oriented fresh fruit harvesting and packaging industry, a sector of great importance to that country's economy. Thus far, over 1,600 workers have been trained, and the experience is now being expanded into other areas of the economy, like wine production.
SIMAPRO's goal is social dialogue. Hence, we have been working for at least 3 years with representatives, labor unions, manufacturers and exporters in order to find out common challenges and therefore look for common solutions. Within this framework, sustainability is the key element.
To return to the Mexican sugar mill, Javier Zamudio tells us about his own experience.
My name is Javier Zamudio Perez, and I am an assistant electrician here. This is the factory area in which we work. I have been at the sugar mill for 14 years. I started out as a temporary self-employed laborer on call and have gradually worked my way up over the years. Our social dialogue with our company today is very social and involves a lot of communication with our trade union. This is very good for us because the arrangements we reach are good. There are no more misunderstandings like the ones we used to have. Our family is traditionally a sugar family because my father is a turbine generator operator at the mill who will retire soon. We are descendants of sugar workers.